Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the elders. Double honors to the apostles. Double honors to the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers that are doing this work with truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. And to the scattered elect, you're looking on the screen, that are scattered abroad among the heathen, that look like the heathen, and those few off that are listening and learning. And I put up a meme earlier and said that the seed of his seed is still his seed. All right, and so we're talking about the seed of Israel. It's all about Israel. It's always been about Israel, and Israel is scattered. And then you can clearly see that that is a father, that is his son, and that is his son's son. And that's still the seed of the father. Point blank, period. All right? That little pale, blonde-haired, curly boy is carrying the seed of that dark-skinned, white-haired man. He is that seed. All right? So, and Israel got scattered among all people, and they're not always going to look like granddad. Okay? Point blank, period. And you got a lot of people that are in their ignorance and in their feelings seem to can't, to have a problem embracing this factual truth. Can we go to the book of Acts? The second chapter, right around the 5th verse, when the Jews were coming back from all the different places.
Oh, that was 2.
Acts 2.
You ready for now?
Yes, sir, brother.
It's Acts 2 and 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. Now when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speaking his own language.
So he's going to go off and name all the places where these Jews, from devout men, meaning they were Israelites, all right? That term Jew was generic. I really wish it wasn't even there, but that's a stumbling block to those that the Lord don't want. But he's going to go on to name all the places in the known world where they came from, all right? And this subject has really been hot with me these last like 4 or 5 days or so. It's hard for me to even shift off of it. But go ahead, brother.
And not only do these people come from these lands, they call them these Israelites. They call them Elamites, as opposed to a Jew from Elam. They call them Elamites, but they're Israelites. Clearly, say Jews.
Yeah, he just dwelt in that land.
And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, "Behold, are not all these which speak Galileans? And how here we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born, Parthians and Medes and Elamites and Mesopotamia, and in Judea and Cappadocia and Pontus and Asia, Phrygia and Pamphylia."
Now stop right there. Uriah, could you pull up a map of Asia? Because you got to understand. Now he named a lot of places. Go back and read them again, brother.
Yep. And how here we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born, Parthians and Medes and Elamites.
And stop right there. You look, a big portion of the Elamites live in Asia. All the people in India are those are basically Elamites outside of the Israelites that were among them. Right? India is a pretty big country, but it's attached to Asia. So you're talking about Russia, Japan, China. That is a huge portion of the world, man.
Yep.
All right.
Well,
go ahead,
when you go into the Medo-Persian Empire, that was Elam ruling. All right. So that's Iran. Then you look at Esther, the 1st chapter, it goes to all the provinces that he ruled over, and it said 120. I believe it's 120 something provinces. And it goes far east, man. All right, super far east. All right, from Iran east. That's Elam. Elam is huge.
Can we make that map a little bit bigger?
That's what we're trying to do right now.
That's a perfect map. And even though, it's not really clear, but you get the gist of it. All that, all right, That's basically everything that's east of Europe or east of Mesopotamia, of what people ignorantly call the Middle East.
This right here would be represented. The cursor is the Middle East.
Okay, so where the cursor is, that's right around where they were gathering to. Israel's near there. So everything east of there, point the arrow all the way to the ocean, all the way to the Pacific. That would be Asia. That's all of Asia. So today you got those are the Edomites, you got Ammon, Moab, Elam, all Ishmael, all these people are there, and so the Israelites were coming from all those places back to Israel. Understand? All right.
And look, Parthians and Medes and Elamites and the dwellers in
Put it back
Mesopotamia
on the men.
and the Judea and Cappadocia and Pontus and Asia. It flat out plainly said Asia. So that whole, like Elder Malcolm was explaining, that whole big ass continent of Asia. Because Americans think of Asia, they think Chinese and Japanese. No, Asia's an entire continent.
It's a continent, yeah.
With islands included. Pergia and Pamphylia in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes. So that's south of Asia, which is north of Africa, and if you say even Rome, which is far west, Rome is in Italy.
Right.
Israel was scattered even now.
That's right.
Greeks and Arabians, we do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful works of the Most High.
There it is, man. Now, if you would, brother, jump down to verse 21, 22.
21.
All right, because when it says all who believe, the ignorance of Esau, Edom, and the world and the ignorance of Christianism, they want to make this book a universal book, and it is not. This is not a universal salvation, man. This thing is a thing of ours.
That's right. That's right.
As a matter of fact, at this point, it's not even for the rest of Israel. This is for the elect only, man.
That's right.
All right? Well, go ahead, brother.
This is Acts 2 and 21. It shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
Right, because in the scripture, like that's also in in Romans. All right, but it's still talking about the Israelites.
Yeah, he's quoting Joel.
All right, come. In the very next line, go ahead and read, brother.
Ye men of Israel, hear these words.
So for that map that you were just looking at, all those Israelites, that came from the kingdom of Judah, all right, because that's who they ignorantly refer to as the Jews, and the kingdom of Judah made up three nations of Israel, three tribes, and plus the scattered of the northern kingdom that was still among them. All right, so there's even a scattering among the scattering, man. All right. So this was all about Israel. So go ahead, Elder. And then whatever you
This
got.
1 Peter's 1:1. It says, Peter, an apostle of Yahushua, to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus. So strangers, they was in the Gentile state of mind once before. It says to the strangers scattered throughout Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, elect according to the foreknowledge of Yahushua, of the Most High power, through sanctification of the Spirit, unto obedience and sprinkling of the blood of Yahushua. Grace be unto you and peace be multiplied. We already know the elect is going to be the Israelites.
I got you right here.
Oh, go ahead, brother.
It's Isaiah 45 and 4. Rejected my servant's sake, and Israel mine elect.
Is what?
Israel mine elect. I have even called thee by thy name. I have surnamed thee, though thou hast not
You
known
want
me.
to get it, Acts 26.
So that's only talking about the Israelites. Man, well, it speaks about the salvation of Gentiles. Those were the Israelites, man.
That's it. That's
All right,
it.
this is
Guys, make a point off what you just said.
Oh, okay.
If you go into what's it, 2 Corinthians, I believe, he said that you know that ye were Gentiles.
I was holding. That's why I was free grabbing.
See, but that's the proof that we the men of the Lord. How? You didn't tell me that. We just pressed start. We didn't have nothing free to describe. How the hell I'm going to pick something up and you got it in the spirit, right? These other camps, these other so-called peoples out there, they don't do that, right?
No.
That's the
You watch the
evidence
videos, you don't hear that. You don't see that happening because those guys are doing it for filthy lucre's sake.
That's right.
Or for contention or for strife or whatever.
That's it.
They're not doing it,
Right, because if the Lord is dealing with, like, one of my favorite scriptures.
Because you know the way you dress is,
I know
depends on the type of spirit you have.
And that's so stupid.
It was the most ignorant thing to say,
Yes.
but I'm not shocked that it came from
who it came from.
Nate Satan, because he is not a bishop, he is not a man of the Lord.
Yeah, because scripture tell you, it said the two witnesses, which is the northern and southern kingdom, is going to be clothed in sackcloth.
Sackcloth.
So that represents mourning, man.
So they got these glorious purple and gold with innate designs and all kind of shit looking all fabulous. You know what I'm saying? The guy ISBK looked like a straight punk band with the goddamn studs and shit.
I know
and
you
spikes.
mean the Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom. Israelites.
You know, so, but then they don't call the men of the Lord Bumalites. I remember one of my favorite garments that I've ever seen a man of the Lord wear, and you older brothers will really, I believe that you will understand, is Apostle Kabar's garment. They have the time.
Those ripped, it's not even on his shoulder, God.
Yeah. And that's why they would talk crap.
Yeah, but
and he would wear it on purpose.
Because I was, and his garment.
Because it says sackcloth, and they ripped their garments, man. And, you know, hey.
That's how it's supposed to. You see, man.
Let's get back to the point, brother. That's okay. Go ahead, brother. Finish.
Garment's done more videos than these niggas live.
That garment famous to them?
Good.
That should be in one of the museums.
It's gotta be. That's one of the throwbacks.
Now, this 1 Corinthians 12:1. Now, concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I will not have you ignorant. Ye know that ye were Gentiles, carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. So Israel was once in the Gentile state of mind, man. And then it came back to their heritage, man. They woke back up, man. They following the Greek customs, Roman customs, all that. You know?
I got two quick right for the other. One he called for, and it's Isaiah 11. It's Isaiah 11:11. And it shall come to pass that in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again, the second time, to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and from Cush and from Elam and from Shinar and from Hamath and from the islands of the sea. So even when you go into that Jeremiah 16, that they're going to be recovered.
See, look, come on, man.
See, that's how we know the spirit, bro.
It's Jeremiah 16 and I'm gonna get to the point. It's Jeremiah 16:15. But the Lord Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land. No, it's not 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that it shall no more be said that the Lord Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord Yahweh liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, and from all the lands where he have drove them, and I will bring them again unto their land that I gave unto their fathers. So from all the lands, wherever we were scattered, not just from over here, which is the north, over here in America, but from everywhere we were scattered from the four corners of the earth.
Right, because the Deuteronomy, the curse was that we were going to be sent out on the four corners to serve out slavery, which even Paul, when he had mentioned that he also was an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin, but in Acts 26, when he was making his case with Agrippa, this is Acts 26:4, I'm going to read a couple of verses. It says, my manner of life from my youth, which was at the first among my own nation at Jerusalem, know all the Jews, which knew me from the beginning, if they would testify that after the most straightest sect of our religion I lived a Pharisee, and now I stand and judge for the hope, the promise made of Yahweh unto our fathers, unto which promise our 12 tribes instantly.
And our is an adjective, it's a pronoun. All right, you got pronouns and adjectives, man, which demonstrate ownership.
Possessive.
Possession.
Pertaining to.
All right. So continue, Bob.
If you say our, it's pertaining to ours.
Right.
It can't be somebody else who's not a part of the
our. I was using the example of that. What was that thing I was talking about? That movie I was talking about yesterday.
Gryffindor.
Harry Potter. Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just Harry Potter in general. Because you have to understand, it's amazing to me how these so-called educated people in America, with all these degrees, can read the Bible and can't differentiate the water between, you know, the nations and the people and the R and the R's. They just get lost in that. But they can pick up a Harry Potter video, a book, and read it, and when it talks about ours and us, and you can identify, you can make the distinctions between Gryffindor, you can make the distinctions between Ravensclaw and Slytherin, right? But when it comes to the Bible, you just grouping everyone together, all right? Yeah, because I was using the Israel as an example as Gryffindor. So if there comes out a movie or a book that's specifically about Gryffindor, even though it was a part of the Harry Potter universe or world, this story is about Gryffindor. You can't include the other houses. You can't include Slytherin and Ravensclaw and whatever. You can't include them in the story of Gryffindor, except for when they meet that house. But outside of that, this is about Gryffindor, and we're just in Israel, and I was using that for simplicity, for people who are watching, especially new people.
Right.
All right,
And that's how you're supposed to teach it, because guess what? Esau and the heathens, the 2/3, they'll add all the other shit to convolute it to make it messy. Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is it's about simplicity, man. We ain't about convoluting shit. We're gonna keep it straight and to the point.
It says, unto which promise our 12 tribes instantly serving Yahweh day and night hope to come, for which hope's sake King Agrippa, I'm accused of the Jews.
Did it say our 12 tribes and the other nations?
No, it says our 12 tribes.
They didn't say nothing about Moab or
Unto which,
Ammon,
no, our tribes.
Esau.
Our tribes. That's why Paul even reiterated how he said, has the Lord cast away his people? Yahweh forbid.
You believe what?
Yahweh forbid.
If the Most High forbid, it's absolutely motherfucking no.
To the no.
Right, that's why even in Ezra's, it's also in Isaiah, it talks about the other nation, but like the other said, when it talks about the promises, when it talks about the first and seventh covenant, there's not even an inkling that it's anybody else. The New Testament was just to clarify those Gentiles that were once Israelites who were converted at a point of a sword, like it says in Maccabees.
They were forced.
And guess what? Some were willing to flip, that's fine. Those are the bad hombres of our nation. But other people did it. They had to do it to keep living.
Just to save their life, because it was like and some of them said, "Fuck it, kill me." All right, some of them chose death over being forced to convert to the Grecian way, man.
You cannot force, brother.
God, I got a scripture for you, Elder.
Go ahead, brother.
All right, this is Revelations 21, because this clearly tell you when New Jerusalem come, who it belongs to. All right, and this at the end. All right, I'm gonna start at 2 and I'm gonna jump down. This is Revelations 21. I'm gonna start at 1. Fuck it. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the new Salakia. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. All right, so John, the Revelator, seen New Jerusalem, which is the people, all right, coming down, all right, out of heaven, all right, after the beam up, all right. So when you go down to verse 21, all right, matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 18. I'm gonna just hit the point 21. All right, Revelation 21, and the 12 gates were 12 pearls, and every several gates was one pearl, and the street of the city was pure gold. Salakia, forget. 12 lambs. Okay, Salakia, 12. All right, this verse, Revelation 21:12. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which were the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. All right, so the gates of Israel, for every
Gates of heaven.
right, the gates of heaven. All right, the New Jerusalem. All right, the city Every nation had a gate with their name on it. So the Benjaminites lived. It was a gate to get in, and Benjamin had their name on their gates. Levi had their name on their gates. Judah, Issachar, and so forth. You don't see. It didn't say the name of the Edomites or the fucking Hamites, because they're not included in that. All right, you know. Hey, you can't make this up. You know, so like it. Right, it's a VIP party.
Right.
Hey, you other nations didn't include us. We're not included in the Constitution. We're not included in the BRIC nations. We're not included. Right.
Chastisement of our nation. Let me get this.
That's right.
Often they were the ones, giving the chastisement.
So then, how can they be part of the blessing? How can they be saved from themselves? But this is second
brother,
Ezra.
you know what?
Scripture says that we don't have. Oh, Salaki, brother.
No, go ahead. You
Go ahead.
No, I said the beautiful thing is they could be delusional all day. It's not going to discourage the Lord. It's not going to make him change his mind.
That's right.
Hey, right. And that's why I say, what if some did not believe? You know what I'm saying? So what? We telling you, whether you heal or whether you forbid.
Hey,
But what-
go ahead, brother.
But I was about to say is in second Esdras, it talks about how we don't have an inheritance with this world.
That's right.
You see, our inheritance is to come. And here it is, we are the special chosen children and don't have an inheritance with this world, but we have an inheritance to come. So these heathen nations who not the special people who get an inheritance in this world, they also going to get an inheritance in ours?
Right, because all the policy that's written, they get the loans, they get the business loans, the home loans, the grants.
Yep.
All that's going to the heathen.
Yep.
All right.
Shit,
We're not getting that.
they
Right.
giving these other
And
countries.
if they do give it to Israelite, they can give it to an Israelite woman, so that she can rule over and create that imbalance.
But just like you said, they give. See, in the kingdom, we the ones that's
right.
giving. We're doing the giving, doing the loaning,
That's
doing
right.
the,
And we're gonna be the powder the pimps too. All right? The Lord about to powder the pimp your ass with fire. You're gonna sprinkle some flour on his hand and slap the fire on your ass.
Come here, bitch.
right? And the Israelites are going to be the power structure, man.
That's right.
And heathen nations, they're going to have no part of that power structure, all right, in being the rulers, all right. That's going to be the Israelites, all right. Matter of fact,
Like I said in Ezra, we said they had no part in our kingdom, but this is second Ezra 6:54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen. All this I have spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
For whose sakes? The chosen sakes. What about the other people, the heathen nations?
As for the other people, which also come from Adam, thou hast said they are nothing.
There's something
They are nothing.
going to be elevated.
They are nothing.
They matter.
They are nothing.
All lives matter.
They are nothing. But be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance
Wait a
of
minute,
them.
unto what? You say spittle?
Spittle.
What's the root word of spittle?
Spit. So how many billions of people on the earth?
Billions.
So the rest of those billions of
More
people
than that. Shit.
that are not
That's
us,
what Esau counted.
they're like spit.
That's what the Bible says.
Over six, at least bare minimum 5-6 billion of them.
Said their abundance.
The abundance is like unto spit. And yet, this day, I've seen superstars all over the world. I used to live in LA, and I've seen the stupid, they got walks and they, on the boulevard where they get their shoe prints,
Little
their hand
stars.
prints. And they,
Bubble gum.
bubble gum, man, bro.
They chew
the gum that they spit out, they got it in a collection or a piece of hair, anything. But I've never seen somebody catch Michael Jackson's spit, goddamn it, Bill Cosby spit,
Shit.
anybody spit on the ground, put it in a bottle and say this is their spit, and they sell for some money. They don't give a fuck about spit. And the Lord said all these nations is likened unto spit.
That's a great breakdown and analogy.
I get it.
Beautiful.
I get it.
Bring them out. And if you would, Capo, that John 11:28, I believe you brought out.
Yes, sir.
And then and then let's go back to that Acts
61.
and then also Acts 9:29.
Okay.
God. So this the Yakia what he said. How we gonna lend to them? It's Deuteronomy 15, and I'm gonna start at 5. Only if thou carefully hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power to observe to do all these commandments which I command thee this day, for Yahweh thy power bless thee as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow, and thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee. All right, so
So if you really break that down, how they gonna share if they being reigned over?
God.
That's it.
And then we gonna be giving out the money, just like how they giving out the money right now. We gonna be giving out the money, but we ain't gonna how our nation, how they Israelite gotta go to a loan, go to a bank and apply for a loan. Israelite already gonna be rich. He ain't gonna need to fucking borrow no fucking money. But all you other nations, hey, what y'all did to us, we gonna put y'all through that same bullshit that y'all put us through, but y'all gonna go through it times 2. So when you want to motherfucking get a piece of land, all right, you want a loan, all right, I'm gonna give me 20 daughters, motherfucking. They all gotta be a certain motherfucking way, a certain this, a certain that,
Or whatever.
and until right, yeah,
So
you know, and whatever the loan
until
is.
y'all slavery is up and y'all get to go to your own lands, that's what it's gonna be, man.
Right, that's right.
Because all you nations that benefited of our suffering and our oppression, our suppression, and most of you nations know who we are. It's funny how many videos, there's thousands of videos with the heathen admitting that they know who we are.
Oh yeah.
But you know what? But where was that? Where was this talk at 30, 40, 50, 100 years ago?
Hey, so
All right, 200 years ago. Where was that? Where was that talking? Hey, why are you doing that to the Lord's people? You know, you're gonna have to pay for that shit one day. It's gonna come back on us.
Nah,
Let them go.
They don't care. They don't
You
fear
know?
the Lord.
No, because they were living good as a result of us
That's
being
it.
oppressed.
That's it.
So they gotta pay for it.
That's
Because
it.
they're always screaming, "Well, we didn't do that to you. The white people did that to you." Yeah, but you didn't speak up,
That's it.
and then you made deals and business with them.
That makes you complicit.
That made you complicit. Hey, you know what? Hey, it's gonna be a heavily RICO act on all your ass.
Hey,
That's right.
Right?
Somebody get the damn drunk under the cup of Babylon.
It's gonna be a heavily
That's-
RICO act on
Yeah,
your
yeah.
ass.
Kind of, somebody get that and hold it up to right after whatever we reading right now, because that's your complicitness is part of your wickedness and your guiltiness.
especially
Okay.
especially
'Cause you
Ishmael.
got videos coming out daily now. These Edomite women that's going in on their men, defending Jake. No, but where was that at when they was hanging us and
That's
shit?
right. They went out
All right.
I gotta put
Now that you see they going down, you know what's next. You know.
I gotta put one to back up.
Go ahead, brother.
No, I was gonna say, furthermore, to tell you for the first Maccabees 2:10, what nation have not had part in her kingdom?
That's right.
Have got us forth. So they all have part of having us in slavery at some point in time period, man. So the Lord gonna make you all pay.
Yeah, I just watched a damn cartoon that I should turn me on to. Where the dude was using a damn Hebrew talent in the Paleo Hebrew to defeat demons and monsters and shit.
Oh, dang.
All right.
Shit, what cartoon was that?
I still got I took a screenshot of it and I'm gonna break it down. What is, you know, matter of fact, I sent it to
Just
you.
like the mummies, when he
You
put
know?
all his idols,
Yeah.
then he came across the Hebrew and the mummy stuff.
But even the girl said it. This is Hebrew. This is from this is from an ancient time. This is ancient Hebrew. Yeah.
I gotta put on the back what the Malcolm X and Rob said. It's one that second ages too. I remember. This is Isaiah 60, and man,
Just hit it,
I'm
my
gonna start
brother.
up.
Just hit it, my
I'm
brother.
right. I need some sort of plan. Some start up the spirit. Start before you. This is Isaiah 60
Put it in orders.
and 5.
That image.
This is Isaiah 60 and 4. Lift up thy eyes round about and see all they gather themselves together. They come to thee, thy son shall come from far, and thy daughter shall be nursed at thy side. This is talking about us being saved, right? Which we are called Gentiles above this. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thy heart shall fear and be enlarged, meaning amazed, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
That's right.
The multitude of camels, it's going to tell you what the forces are, which is the resources of these lands. Even and so slavery, we already established they're going to be in slavery. But after they're going to get their lands back. And we're still going to get our cut off top.
That's right.
The multitude of camels shall cover thee, And let me, Yahweh Shai and his sons are going to get our cut off top. The multitude of camels shall cover thee, the dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come. They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praises of Yahweh. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nebaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with the scepters of my altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Real quick, well, I just go to the 5th chapter. All right, Israel is the Lord's glory. Whose are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves up to their windows? Surely the owl shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them. Exodus 4:22, the sons of talking about Israel. Unto the name of the Lord thy power, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls, that's the slavery, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So the Lord put us in your hands, he's going to give us great mercy, and he's going into that, which is us ruling over your heathens, you're going to be in slavery, and us getting your resources, man.
And your kings. And the king, because it mentioned the king. Oh, okay, it's like it. It's like it, brother.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, they shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring us into the forces of the Gentiles, and that their kings may be brought. For the nation.
Because that's like, it's going to be hits out on them, man. Because that's who the ones we want, man. Because, you know, hey, what the scripture say that the king shall be thy nursing fathers and their queens shall
For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee, for the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yet those nations shall be utterly wasted. See, what you guys have in your minds about the Bible simply is not right. When you think of salvation and heaven and hell, all that shit, it's just bugged out. So you can't understand what's going to happen. See, when the destruction comes, all right, you're going to get your judgment. But just like we got our judgment. And it was rough and it was harsh and it lasted a long time. Babylon, Media, Persia, Greece, Rome.
Look at the
condition. Niggas moving over each other, fucking us up in the dark ages. They're Rome 2.0, aka now. All right.
Look at the state of our women.
Yeah.
I'm
All right.
Action.
Yeah.
We don't want our women. The heathen don't want our women.
Come.
No, but
And they rule over us and make our lives horrible, man. Like the dude that said that one girl that put up that apology, and then the brother came back with the matter of fact, we gotta play it. Let me send it to you.
Come. While he's getting that, I'm finish this. To make this point, and that's the definition of hell. All right. When you read Deuteronomy, the Lord said, basically, we kill this anger. It's going to burn to the deepest hell. Then the Lord describes that deepest hell, and he goes through the curses, Deuteronomy 28, essentially, and it ends with thermonuclear destruction. So when it's your turn to go to hell, all right, to lose your heaven, because this is your heaven, Edom, Isaiah 34, this is your heaven. The Lord's sword is going to be bathed in it, man. It's going to come down upon you. That's right. Then you heathens will go into hell. And that's Deuteronomy 30 and 7. You're going to go through the curses. That's hell. Heaven is rulership. Hell is the destruction. It's right. Going through evil times. All right? Then you got salvation. Real quick, what time you got that second nine? Hold on. Hit this second nine. Get straight to the point. Start this 7. Start at 7.
Second Ezra is 9.
That's the point. That's the point.
The second Ezra is 9 and 7. Everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his work and by faith whereby ye have believed shall be preserved from the said perils and shall see my salvation in my land.
Hold on. The salvation is what? Read that over.
And shall see my salvation in my land.
That's the salvation. Like the brother read earlier, Jeremiah 16. It's like the salvation for us before out of Egypt was what? Getting into our land. When it talks about the judge delivering us in the book of Judges, it was what? The Lord set up a leader or leaders to fight for us, to get us out of the hands of the enemies, and we get back into our land and have our laws that govern us again. That's the salvation. This time around, like the Lord said, we receive all this hell in double. So we're going to receive essentially double the mercies. All right, like it says in Isaiah. So that comes with not only us getting saved, all right, and getting our land back, we're going to have these laws written in us, and we ain't going to be able to go off again, and you heathens will serve us perpetually, forever. All right, and we're going to get your goods, and we're going to be able to serve you. How about you properly? Like it says in Jeremiah 3, the Lord said, he said, how am I going to let y'all get a, he said, how am I going to make it so y'all can just keep this land? And he's like, look, I'm going to give you a new covenant, put the law. I got to read that Jeremiah 3 real quick. I'm going to pass it on to Rob.
It's a
Boy, he rocking it. Hurry up, man.
That's
a definition.
Right.
This Jeremiah 3 and 18, 17. At that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of Yahweh, and all nations shall be gathered unto it, to the name of Yahweh, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk any more after the imagination of their evil heart. In those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. That's at Jeremiah 16. But I said, how shall I put thee among the children, and give thee a pleasant land, a goodly heritage of the host of nations? And I said, thou shalt call me my father, and shall not turn away from me. So the Lord asked, how am I going to give you this land so you can just keep it this time? You're like, look, this is hell, man. I'm going to be your father. You won't never turn away from me again. You won't go off again. That's the salvation, man.
Okay,
And that has nothing to do with other people.
At all.
it's a definition. Real quick, definition. This is the definition of hell, right? The first definition completely goes off. But the second one, it says a state or place of great suffering and unbearable experience, right? Then it gives you different, what you call it, antonyms, synonym, whatever, one of them motherfuckers. It say a misery, right? This is one of them. Misery, hell on earth, a torment, a nightmare, an ordeal, a trauma, wretchedness. Then the last one is trials and tribulations, right? This is the definition of hell.
Wow.
Then the opposite of it, paradise.
Look,
Right, and ultimately, our inheritance is with paradise.
That's right.
See, we had no rest, and no inheritance in the place that was the hell. And that's what we, as Israelites, the special chosen children, the particular people, all right, that the Bible was talking about, that's what we had to go through. That's why the Bible,
It was still in it.
yep, that's why the Bible says, to whom much is given, much is required. See, we're going to be given the inheritance of the rulership of the eternal kingdom. That's much. So much was required of us, all right, to get that. We had to be worthy of that. We had to go through the hell before we go through our heaven.
That's right, guys. Absolutely. Go ahead, and then I want the scriptures that gave Copper to come out, brother. Go ahead.
This is Matthew 13, I'm start at 29 and 30. But he said, nay, least while ye gather up the tares, ye root also the wheat. See, we're the wheat, but we've been scattered among all of them, so we gonna look like them, they gonna look like us. Okay?
With the man and his sons back.
Exactly, but it's still about the seed. It says 30. Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares.
Could you hold that for a second? So you would have someone per se from ISUPK, or even someone from House of David would tell that if this young man was an adult, the youngest of that seed line right there, they'd tell him that he was a heathen.
that's right. They'll come up to the camp and say,
He
what's
walk
this
up-
about?
yeah.
What's this about? And they say, hey, this ain't for you. You a heathen. Beat it.
Yeah, that's what they would tell him. They would tell him to scram. But he the same sperm of his grandfather who's basically at his shoulder.
Right.
Right? And you can even see he still got his grandfather's eyes. His son is a light-skinned brother, but he's got his father's facial features. And so the little blonde boy, he's got the nose and the eyes too.
Regional.
All right.
187, remember the dude came up? He said, well, what do you see here? He says, some black men, a couple Mexicans, and one white guy. You
Oh,
know?
God.
To Nazaki, and to which you replied,
I know right. He is mad, man. I don't blame him for getting mad, but he's our token speckled bird. You know, but, hey, but
He's always been.
You know, rough kind.
No, I got to finish.
But he's been a helpful teaching aid too.
Oh hell yeah, hell yeah.
And we use it.
He represents the little boy.
Yes, and we used it yesterday with the Jake that came up to Yacht's camp for edification.
Okay. This is verse 30. That both grow together into the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn.
So there you go, man. So you're gonna have a situation where young little blonde boys like that, all right, it's gonna get gathered into the barn, and you're gonna have a chocolate ass Jake trying to figure out why am I not getting gathered? Well, because you a 2/3 ass nigga.
Or
Well, tell yeah, heathen.
Or you a heathen, right?
That's it.
So you're right, because you, it turns out that you the opposite of him. You
Right.
chocolate, but your lineage go back to people that look like him.
Yeah.
You
Right?
know,
So it's the reverse. You a chocolate because them black only Israelites never want to deal with that subject. They usually get real quiet when you present that. When you show the evidence of somebody who's dark, and then you look at their father, and it turns out they come from a seed line of a heathen, of a Edomite, or another heathen, then they don't have nothing to say.
Right. I got one more.
you know, it's like you remember the chocolatier that just came down, who used to had the art book or whatever.
Oh yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
the little weirdo dude.
Yeah, skinny as hell, little chocolate dude. And you would think that he was he looked black, but then when we talked to him, no salt.
Even when he walked,
Exactly.
before he ever opened his mouth, I already knew it.
Exactly. And then he had
He just solidified it with his actions.
Exactly. And then he went to go to the art institute. He had his sketchbook, and you can see it. I say, hey, let me see some of your sketches. He's like, nah. Anytime you ask any Jake, let me see your sketch.
Yo, dog, you
okay,
did.
see now, this is the one I did back in 1973. This one right here, I did it when I was this my inspiration.
Well, actually, his sketchbook was full of gay shit.
It's
Exactly.
bullshit.
That's what it
That's
was.
exactly.
It was really- that's why he didn't want to show it, because then he would have been put on blast.
Exactly.
And that's why, because I walked into Dunkin' Donuts to get some coffee and looked over his shoulder and saw it. And so his book was full of gay shit. You know, he was designing dresses and skirts, you know, and all his drawings was a female clothing. Yeah, man.
Okay, so I'm in that same thing, Matthew 13, I'm gonna jump down to 38. Okay, this was talking about the tares and the wheat. So 38, the field is the world, the good seed are the children of the kingdom.
The good seed.
The good,
Right,
what,
the good
seed.
seed.
Plural.
Right. So that seed is Israel, the Israelites.
That's right.
All right, go ahead.
Okay.
It says they're the children of the kingdom. They're going to be the rulers in the kingdom. In the kingdom, you must have rulers. You must have people being ruled over, the subjects.
Right.
King gotta have subjects.
Right.
They got to. It
What
won't be a kingdom
you
without.
walking throughout your castle, standing on your ramparts, in your towers, but you ain't got no subjects.
Right.
You the king of nothing.
Right.
You the king of the deer and the wolves
The
and the animal force. Right.
Right. Here it is, the Most High. He said, do all things decently and in order. All right. And so what he do is decently and in order. And he said that there is going to be a righteous, eternal world. He said, my kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven.
That's right.
So guess what? In heaven, there's order. So on earth, there's going to be order. Part of order is rank and file. You know, from the least to the greatest.
And the law, statutes, and commandments that are in the Bible.
Yep, you're gonna have some rulers. You're gonna have people get ruled over.
And that's what's going on here in this kingdom.
That's what's going on
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So, but when it come out and them have to be slaves, now it's a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
What?
Exactly.
Let me finish this. The children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked.
That's right. And I remember telling Dr. Grossman that. She told me, well, we stole it fair and square. And I told her, keep that energy. I said, 'cause we gonna take it back.
Right.
Right. I said, okay. I said, she told me, she said, but we stole it fair and square.
And
I
you're
said,
right.
and I said, you're right, Dr. Nixon.
Beautiful.
Right, Manifest Destiny has a part 2.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, we gonna take it back. We're gonna run that 10 square.
Right. And the saints shall take the most.
Oh yeah, I let her know.
Reverse.
I let her know. I said, yeah, we gonna take it back, fair and square.
Throw out that.
Did you finish that second answer?
No. I still got some, and I still got the elders video. If he still wants me to play it.
Go ahead and run it real quick before I get too far.
We all take our lick, then we'll be able to really heal.
Y'all ready for that lick? This would look like in mass. Take us all off of child support. In mass. Those of you all that have children, that of which whom has a father that is not abusive, go back to him and apologize for everything that you did wrong in detail. And then stop. Don't try to sidestep accountability. Don't try to tell him what he did wrong. Just apologize and then close your mouth. In mass, from now on, drag the women that drag black men, either in person or in media. In mass, begin to dress modestly. In mass, stop sleeping with multiple men. Find one and be faithful to him. In mass, submit. In mass, stop being insatiable, insufferable, and intolerable. In mass, know your place. In mass, stop thinking you are equal to men. In mass, get rid of everything that is fake. In mass, learn to stay in the house. And in mass, don't be obtuse. You know what I mean.
We all take our lick,
So she talking about taking her lick and how women need to, basically, they see ones like her, all right. They can see that this thing is deteriorating, and that was, and you know, and part of the reason our women are like that, you know, in the first place, Esau Edom, his wicked rule, and gave them this power, all right. But now, you know, just like you got all these Edomite women all of a sudden coming against their men. Now they see, you know, the ones who've been watching, they can see that, damn, man, you know what, a lot of stuff these guys are saying is, you know, it's undeniable, man, if you actually watch and be honest with yourself, all right? But women like that, she made that long speech, if you saw her video, about, you know, how women need to apologize and not act this way, and this, that, and the other, but the damage is done, you know? You done already put the knife in too many men's back. They walking around with wounds, open wounds, man. So pulling the knife out, well, now he's just bleeding out. You know? Go ahead, Smith. You was about to say something about your head.
Well, I said, it's related but kind of related. That's why I wasn't saying, but I said, that Disney movie that's coming out with the women warriors and shit.
The one I refuse to go see?
Well, I ended up looking that group of women up. Now, it was only 1/3 of that army. They was capturing us and selling us into slavery.
Yeah.
Those are Israelites, if I'm not mistaken.
Some of them are Israelites.
They were Israelites.
The Levites.
And they were fucking us up, put us in slavery. Those women was getting raped. The historians went into it, they was to be that or fuck, but they was partaking in putting us into slavery. Selling their own people into slavery.
There it is.
So these women, it ain't just Edom. These women just against us, man. Just like when you read the book of Jeremiah. When Jeremiah told them they weren't even following the laws, he said, the Lord finna send y'all into slavery. And they said, the Lord ain't gonna do that. They said, when we worship the Queen of Heaven, we didn't lack anything. Let's get back to that. When we baked the cakes to heaven, our husbands was there. They talked shit to Jeremiah, their husbands stood there and said nothing. You bitches out of order. And this fake humility they got, it's just because they see the power shift.
And then that's what dude was pointing out. Then he said, well, then in mass, y'all need to do this. But I ain't seen no other videos.
It ain't gonna happen. The one bitch, she goes in this huge rant, we're wrong, we don't want to be independent. And she says, men, be humble. Man, be humble and take us back. What, bitch? Just apologize.
Nobody wants your Jeremiah 3-in-1 self.
She should have said, I'm sorry.
She never said sorry in the video either.
Instead of saying be humble, she should have said, we're sorry. Like, we don't have to humble down and deal with you, bitch.
Section, all the comments are just men just, well, most of them, because there's some simps on there. Exactly. But most of them, what you mean, man, be humble? They didn't even apologize. They were going in on them. Like, these bitches are toast, man.
So
Isaiah 4:1 tells you how we're supposed to come hungry. We'll wear our own clothes. We get our own food and our own apparel. Just let us be called by that name.
Like that
That's
one.
humility.
That one very attractive.
Keep
one
your
who-
own money.
who basically says she do everything for her man. You know, and she know her man. She study her man. And I'm like, damn.
But you should have watched the whole
I'm
thing.
like,
That bitch out of order too.
That's
She was talking about
that's the only portion I saw.
Yeah, she
But-
was talking about doing that for a man that's balling and spending money on it. She said, she could.
Oh, well, I didn't get all that far.
I wouldn't look.
But I was like,
I
damn.
don't like these bitches. So I knew it was something behind it.
It had to be
I wouldn't
something
search the whole. I wouldn't film the video and watch the whole thing. Yeah, she didn't get one over me. Fuck you.
Yeah, so the hell with her.
I wouldn't search for it.
Brother said, nah, it's got to be more than this. And upon investigation, that bitch was found suspect. All right, bring out those scriptures about the shop.
Alright, I'm gonna start with the book of John, chapter 11. I'll start at 45. It says that many of the Jews which came to Mary and had seen the things which Yahushua did believed on him. But some of them went their ways to the Pharisees and told them what things Yahushua had done. Then gathered the chief priests.
That would be the my UIC niggas. When we were the ones that believed on Yahushua. Go ahead.
I sure
Then
said
gathered the
that
chief
nigga.
priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles.
We're going to make a 501c3 charter and call the Lord by another name and slander the men of the Lord daily. Go ahead. Tell me I'm lying.
That's all. Hey, that's like the priest who.
This is all.
Yeah.
This is all. It's all happening. The book of Acts is all over again right now.
Right.
Go ahead.
Book, verse 48. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him. And the Romans shall come and take away both
And
our
that's
place.
what it is, man. Because the men of the Lord, we're out here teaching, giving the true knowledge and the real breakdowns of the Bible, what Yahweh Shai was talking about. And then you got these agents of Esau that are wearing garments, matching garments, and mostly, you know, or looking like Legion of Doom, looking like Demolition, the wrestling team.
Damn.
You know, with these false doctrines. And you notice all these fake guys always talking about Christ and Jesus.
Hey, and
and especially the motorcycle gang Israelites, the black man this, the black man that, Christ, you know.
and
what was his name? Dead Mike.
I'm black, y'all.
and we'll make them niggas and we'll make them heads perfect agents, eyes, because they know the truth. So when their congregation come up and say certain things, they know how to steer them away from it because they know the truth, and they wicked as hell. That's why General Gahana like he is, and that's why Nate like the way he is, because they know it.
You mentioned that shit that Nate did come against the apostles and men of the Lord. It was pretty straight 100% slander.
It was blasphemy. He took little clips. He didn't play the whole
It
thing.
doesn't matter.
You know.
The clips that he played, he said, do we buy prostitutes? No. Ha. See, he's wicked. Next. Go moving on to the next.
No scriptures, no breakdowns, no nothing. They playing on emotions. You know.
The emotions of the westernized mindset.
That's the right way to put it. That was excellent. And the
Which is a brainwashed society, brainwashed with nothing but lies, pseudoscience and wine of lies. So go ahead and finish that.
Verse 49.
And load up
That's
that
what I'm
video.
calling I'm going to redo
Verse
it and call
49.
it playing
And one of
on
them
the
named Caiaphas,
emotions
being the
of
high priest that
westernized
same year, said unto them, you know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this he spake not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahushua should die for that nation. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of God that were scattered abroad.
Wow. So am I right? And so it said nothing about the other people. Now go right to the Acts 6:1 about
So that lets you know that the Jews were called its own nation, separate from the rest of the 12 tribes, because that was a divide right there, man. You know?
As a matter of fact, get it in those other versions.
Okay.
Somebody else get Acts 6:1 and Acts 9:29. Somebody get Acts 9:29 and Acts 6:1 in the KJV. Go ahead, y'all.
Baruch chapter 5 verse 6. It says, "For they departed from thee on foot and were led away of their enemies." but God bringeth them unto thee exalted with glory as the children of the king.
It says, in those days, as the disciples were increasing in number, there arose a complaint by the Hellenistic Jews against the Hebraic Jews.
You hear that? So that's basically what we've been saying all along, man. Vocab cut, and all Christianism is through, man. Now let's do that with Acts 9 and 29 as well. First the KJV, then the CSB, and then we gonna switch it up and we gonna get on these damn Edomites and these Edomite women, all right, who it's apparent what they trying to do, and the comedian Bill Burr busts them out. All right, he basically said, look, now that y'all see that they jumping on the bandwagon with this wokeism, and now they coming against white men and joining with black people. All right, he married to a nigga woman.
Oh,
I think Bill Burr might be a J. Kenny.
Yeah, Irish.
But go ahead, bro.
But this is Acts chapter 9, verse 29 in the KJV, and he spake boldly in the name of the Lord Yahushai, and disputed against the Grecians, but they went about to slay him.
Right. Okay, let's see what it says in the CSB. I'm curious.
Acts 9 and 29, he conversed and debated with the Hellenistic Jews.
Come on, man.
But they tried to kill him.
Right, so the Hellenistic Jews were the Jews
that new.
who basically, they were the Greek-speaking Jews and the ones who adhered or were joined unto the Greekish way of life.
Right.
All right, point blank, period, man.
Hey.
So once again, it was still all about Israel. It had nothing to do with you other nations, man.
Hey, whoop,
All right,
whoop.
go ahead. Jump. Come on off the top rope, brother. Give them
Hellenists.
the people's
All right?
elbow.
Hellenistus. A Hellenist, definition B, used in the New Testament of Jews born in foreign lands and speaking Greek.
Hey, what was the purpose? Salaki, real quick. What was the purpose of the cloven tongues? Why did the Lord get them to break down to be able to speak into these other languages? To reach the Israelites that spoke those other languages. The Hellenistic Jews.
So we going back to Acts. Acts the second chapter. All right. Go ahead, brother. Bring it up.
There's a footnote for Hellenistic Jews, and it reads, that is Jews who had adopted the Greek language and culture. That's it.
So come on, man. And there was some video where I was watching a live with Elder Apostle Tahar, where vocab was mumbling and fumbling through Acts 6 and 1, trying to explain it. Trying to explain Hellenist to Hellenistic. But you can't go into that topic without cutting yourself.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, vocab, you need to just shut the fuck up until you answer them 7 questions, man.
Yep.
Stop avoiding.
Come on, you
Bring
get
it out, brother.
This is the book of Acts 13:26. It says, men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you feareth Yahweh, to you is the word of this salvation sent. You know? Hey,
Call it and read it again, brother. Bubble shot.
this is the New Testament. It's always been the same message, man. It's the book of Acts 13 and 26. Men and brethren, children of the stock of Abraham, and whosoever among you feareth Yahweh, to you is the word of this salvation sent.
Man, that was one of them cuts when the samurai up the sword, slashed the throat, and put it back in the sheath before they even hit the ground.
Right.
It's like, oh, right.
Then he stopped and his fucking head fucking slide
I
off.
was gonna say that would be like Trump with freezing.
Oh yeah, he cut it in, freezer. Just fucking got cut and his shit dropped.
It's been the same story, man. It ain't never changed.
I got something real quick.
Bring it out, brother.
Galatians 3:16. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made.
Ooh.
It saith not into seeds as of many, but as of one. To thy seed, which is Messiah. Like people forget, it's like simple English. Like personal pronouns, man.
Hey,
Like, it's always been an exclusive club and not an inclusive club.
It says seeds of one because Abraham had other seeds. He had several other sons.
Right.
But the promise came through one son, and that was Isaac. And then Isaac had Jacob and Esau, and Esau got moved out the way. He got the boot.
Right.
All right. He got shown the door.
Hey.
And it rested upon Jacob. And Jacob had 12 sons. And it rested upon them. It's so simple, man.
Hey,
Revelation 7, it gives you 12,000 of each tribe. So you're saying that now the Lord could ultimately do this if he wanted, but he's only going to save 12,000 of each tribe and then a numeral multitude of everybody else? Man, y'all crazy. The Lord ain't even going to save all Israel. That's why Paul talked about it. He said, my desire is that the whole nation be saved. But that's not the will of the Lord.
All right.
Hey, it improved who the Greeks are. Who into that Greek shit today? Jake is the heaviest into that Greek shit. The different Alpha Kappas and the different fraternities, they got all that shit. But all of them,
To the shame, yeah.
and when you go into it, they all go back and they learn how to speak the Greek. All them different fraternities, they make them speak the Greek.
All their names. Because they have to be able to say their names in the Greek.
Con.
So they do, to a certain extent, learn, you know.
Greek,
Force it on. Make them get it.
And then they can break it down exactly what it means too.
Con. We'll show you who the fucking Greeks really were, man. And Jake come back and do the same fucking. And Jake come back and do the same fucking goofy dumbass shit. Yeah. God, that is shit.
And then they thought that shit was cool. But no, I want that video.
Okay,
yeah, we're gonna change it to vibration.
Complaining in my life for white women. My name is hard. With my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to see me. Trashing white guys. The nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. Listen, I don't want to speak ill of my bitches here, okay?
That dude, nigga, it's
Let's
confirmed.
go back in history here, okay? You guys stood by as toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money, and occasionally when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual.
Damn! And they laughing at it. That's what. Them motherfuckers cracked up at it.
Right.
Because they know.
They know that it's over, man. Like this little chick right here. I'm gonna send you another, Ariella. This the little chick with the accent. It's talking about how I am a rage trader. I'm that little bitch.
I got a pretty stuff while you getting that.
Bring it out, brother.
This is a Rock 41 and 7. The children will complain of an ungodly father because they shall reproach for his sake. So they realize they knew the shit was when they was doing it, you know. But now, like it says in the book of James, the devil believes the truth, and they become race traders. They jump the ship. It's just like our women did. But look, Edom, you Edomites, okay? Edomite women, y'all getting put in the slavery too.
That's right.
All right. Y'all ain't getting no fucking special pass.
They think they gonna fuck
You
it.
gonna be on a plantation, picking whatever the fuck we got you picking. We gonna be bed wenches, and when you done getting popped, going right back to the fucking field.
That's right, because I'm gonna be cold. Because look, there's some badass Edomites.
Oh yeah.
All right. There's some badass Edomites, and they gonna be used for comfort and all that. But guess what? Like you said, as soon as you done, you think you go. What, you gonna grow old and live in a big house? No.
Do all this.
After the nuts have been spread, you carry your ass right back to the field.
Imagine what our women. Imagine what our women gonna do to their women. You know what I'm saying?
I talked about this, brother. That was pretty sad.
Oh, you his favorite too. Your red ass.
Yeah.
Smack.
I put that spirit on my women to do just like Sarah.
Yeah.
She beat her serving ass.
That's what I thought about.
Yeah, I gave this analogy to one on before. They're gonna brush your hair. You're gonna say 100 strokes aside. They're gonna do 101, and you're gonna slap the bitch up.
Why'd you give me that extra stroke? I thought you smack.
Yeah. It says you will get no mercy. Now Isaiah 47 chapter. That includes you bitches, man. You either might say getting away with it.
Yeah, because they gonna know when you leave in the chambers, and they're gonna be waiting outside to rough you up.
Hey,
Like, oh, so you was in there with the master? Oh, okay.
hey, you know,
Yeah, right.
hey,
And Edomite women, they gonna rather dwell with a lion and a
Top of the house.
right. And the woods than to deal with our women in the kingdom that's gonna be, doing all manner of shit today.
but
Yeah, because on the top of that, a lot of our women are gonna be angry. Just like a lot of our people are going to be angry that they went against the men of the Lord, that they went against their own people. They're going to feel that guilt and that anger, and they're going to take it out on you. And then, all these women who would die hard in the, leave your man, and I don't need no man, signing up all Esau's programs that destroyed them.
They're going to be mad as hell, boy.
They're going to be angry. They're going to feel guilty and angry, man. They're going to take it out on y'all.
Hey.
And you mainstream bitches that took part of the Gloria Steinfeld or whatever her name is. Oh, it's gonna be hard. Yeah, you specific. There's certain specific white women that are like what's her name? Bill Clinton's wife, man. She signed a lot of legislation and did a lot of things.
Hillary
that did a lot
Clinton.
of damage to our people. In the
They fucking up,
late
Levi.
80s and 90s, man. They really did a lot of damaging shit. But man, these women going.
Hey, so like it. Can I? A reason I say that I had a vision a long time ago. I don't know, brother. I tell brothers about a Rala's Funhouse. All right. Now the Lord showed me this, but it wasn't men getting fucked up. It was the women that was getting fucked up.
Wow.
All right. So when I went to sleep. The Lord was like, I want to show you something. So when I went to sleep, I woke up. It was night. And you know how you walk up to a fun house like an old school, and it had the neon letters, and the neon letters was blinking. It said a Rala's Funhouse, and it was yang 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 yang. But like in the horror movies though, it wasn't like it you know what I'm saying? It was like a horror movie, like yang yang, and it was flickering. So the angel I was with, it was because it was really a shadow that was showing me this shit. And he was like, come walk with me. I want to show you something. He took me inside. And when we went upstairs, we walked upstairs, and it was a Edomite. All these was Edomites. It was an Edomite that was getting her feet done. She was getting pampered. All these bitches were getting pampered. It was an Edomite with like a glass, like snug on her stomach. It was like snug on her stomach. But on the other side, she had a robot doing a motherfucking... It was painting her nose, her toes, giving her with the pedicure, giving her pedicure. It was one on a table, getting a massage. It was, because I always say before I even had this vision, I said I'm gonna have robots. I ain't gonna be touching these dogs. I'm gonna have my robots do everything. And then I had this vision, But the two was the bitch getting the motherfucking massage on the massaging table by a robot, and the Edomite who was getting the pedicure. Now, he looked at me and he said, watch this. Then the fucking robot that was doing the pedicure grabbed her by her legs and pulled her through the glass. He pulled her, but the glass was so strong, it ripped off all her skin that was on her, and it put his hands up, and his hands turned to the side, went down, and came back up, turned to the side, and Blaze said, and I heard them bitches cut on. And he just went to work on the bitch. He just shrunk. The massage bitch got it. She got it far worse. All right, so so the bitch
what could be worse than spinning blades?
Yeah, all right. So the massage bitch, the robot that was giving the bitch the massage, the robot stood up and he stepped back, and the massage chair folded up on her and steamed the bitch. And then we walked to the edge of the building, and we jumped out the side of that motherfucker and flew off. And that was the end of it.
Sound like a Rala's Playhouse.
It was a Rala's Funhouse. That's what it was called, Rala's Funhouse. And it was women,
I hate all.
She said she don't hate herself. Go ahead.
Like a motherfucker.
Other white people. And I say it again because some are slow. White people suffer from a cognitive affective group handicap called white ignorance. White people are not really civilized. It is white bombs that are falling on Somalia, Afghanistan, Iraq, Mali,
Palestine, Ukraine. It was uncivilized Europeans who killed almost an entire nation in North America and Australia. And not being able to reflect on this is below animality. And now Google how to stop crying.
You can
I
stop
don't
it right
think
there.
myself.
All right, so now you got all these white women that are attacking white men, just like Bill Burr was saying, man. All right, Job 27 and 15. And Isaiah 33 and 18.
Here's Job 27 and 15. Those that remain of him shall be buried in death, and his widows shall not weep.
And his widow shall not weep, man. And there's hundreds, if not thousands, of videos all over YouTube and the internet with similar like hers. Her whole channel is dedicated to and exposing white superiority, white hatred, and their wicked history. She got a whole channel. That's all she does. Every video. And so the Edomites, I believe they gonna some of these Edomites gonna unalive this broad, man. All right, one of them incels, one of the Edomites gonna unalive her because she's constantly putting them on blast, man.
British security guards massacred dozens of African migrants this week. Their president said they did a good job. This guy might not even be aware that they committed crimes against humanity, since white people having trouble seeing black people as human. Spanish security guards massacred dozens of African migrants this week. Their president said they did a good job. This guy...
The president said they did a good job, man. And they had that massacre. You brother seen that that image of the eagle on its way to the Congo to save the people,
yeah.
I mean Uganda,
Yes.
from all this terrorism.
Yeah.
That shit funny as hell, man. But
Scripture for you.
go ahead, bring it out, brother.
This,
because all of a sudden, they want to bring that image up off the shot. Because all of a sudden, there's a lot of death going on in Africa, in the Congo and Uganda. And it's funny because you got what the Koban, I believe it's called. That's found. I sent it directly to you. That's found that's found in the Congo, and then you got all that gold that was found in Uganda, and all of a sudden there's a whole, and they're not really covering it on the regular news. And she talked about it. She said, Jake, all right, because there's a lot of Jakes in that part of Africa, man. They over there getting massacred by these Edomites, and the news media really isn't even covered. And one of the main people talking about it is white women. There's a lot of different channels where they're bringing it out. What's happening over there? Why? Because Russia checkmated America basically in the West by making with this whole oil and power for gold now. Everything that they buy that you buy in Europe to get you gotta buy in gold now. All right. So as a result of that, they're trying to go get that gold from these Africans. Esau and fucked himself. He went sanctions. You put all these sanctions and basically built them up. Because if you listen to American media, the Russians over there struggling, but that's not what's coming. That's not what's coming from other sources.
Hell no.
And it's obvious because because they're not panicking. They're not running out of food stuff over there in Russia. That's an American and West thing.
Right.
That's happening in the West and in America. All right. So it all backfired. That's why Sri Lanka, what's going on in Sri Lanka, eventually is going to come here to America.
All right.
It's gonna happen. Man. I'll send it directly to you. But it's just funny because it's like an eagle that's on the ground, and it's you'll see the image, man. And it says, yeah, it was in the water zone. And and it says, I gotta go in and save these Ugandans from all this terrorism now.
Right. It's Isaiah 33 and 18. It said, their heart shall meditate terror. Where is the scribe? Where is the receiver? Where is he that counts the tower?
That's right, man.
Hey, shit, the Lord gave me that idea. It wasn't even me.
So, the righteous mind is actually going to meditate terror unto the enemies. The Lord Lord said we have to give back unto them double. Revelation 18 and 6, man.
Hey,
All right, they have to get back. You know, take to
I was going to say that Revelation 13, it says, here's the patience and faith of the saints.
That's right.
That's a comfort.
Yeah, no, matter of fact, read it.
Yep.
Then break it down.
Revelation 13 and 13. What?
Somebody
Revelation 13 and 10.
Galatians 6 and 7 while he's reading that.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. So for one, you can put to death Edom and even all your other heathens, man. All right, violence and death is a big part of your judgment. It must happen. All right, Psalms 83 is prayed about. It's actually sung about. That's a song, so it must happen. It's in the prophecy. No, it's more than just point. And also the slavery. All right, that must happen because it's written in Deuteronomy 30 and 7. We got to get these things. And it says what? It's the patience and faith of the saints, which means this is when we go to hell, all right, and we just suffering. Part of our comfort is knowing that at some point in time, we're going to do unto you double what you've done to us.
That's right.
Put chains on you.
We're
going to have that two-edged sword in our hand, like it says in Psalms 149.
I got it right here.
We're going to do the same things to you that you've done to us, man. And that keeps us born.
Yes.
It goes into the good news, right? The good tidings, which is the definition of gospel, and it says to bring vengeance upon our enemies. So that's part of the gospel.
They say comfort all that more.
That's it. That's the comfort, man.
I had Luke 4 and 29. It says, "For he that brought these plagues upon you shall pursue the Lord one guys in the situation to begin with, for us going off, transgressing his laws." So it says, "Shall bring you everlasting joy again with your salvation. Take good heed, O Jerusalem," talking about the Israelites only, "for he that gave thee thy name, that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad at thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation." You're going to pay for putting your hands on the apple of the Lord's eye. That's it.
I got some.
Ass payments.
So we got the relations.
I got it right here.
Gotta pay with your ass.
Go ahead, get it.
Come. It's Galatians 6 and 7. It says, "Be not deceived, your house not mocked, for whoever so a man soweth, though he shall reap. For he that reap for his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the spirit shall the spirit reap everlasting." And that's what it is. Hey, Esau got a bound that he got to pay for, because he have robbed and raped the Israelites, the world, really, yeah, the world. So guess what? He's going to get that same judgment that he have gave to the world, man.
So you're going to turn upon your own head.
Yeah.
Hey, this is something. This is I got a Sirach 26 and 28, and this is on the point that Elder Malcolm was saying about the soldier and this and another. As long as they were stealing for the higher up, they were good. But if they stole for themselves, they got something for themselves. Like you said, that used to be part of the thing that you're supposed to be able to split the spoils and whatnot with people that was with you.
Yeah.
This is Sirach 26 and 28. "There be two things that grieve my heart, and the third maketh me angry. A man of war that suffers poverty, and men of understanding that are not set by, and one that returneth from righteousness to end, the Lord prepares such a one for the sword." Okay, but like you said, you keep your army in check, and that's how Rome lost its army, because as they kept using less and less silver in the money that they were paying the soldiers with, it went down. The whole military went down. Everybody was trying to pocket for themselves, trying to share the wealth, and that's what the Edomites now, what the sinners do. And now even the Edomites, Joe six-pack was like, "Damn, where I cut? Your cut was your skin. You supposed to got yours while it was still profitable, but you better get yours." You didn't get yours. Why? You didn't get yours. Why they don't have to pay 31 and 20, 30, 28, 31, 36% on the motherfucking auto loan, and you was getting shit for 2.5%? You didn't get yours in the middle of that?
Because a lot of people used to come out of high school back in the day to go to the military because they would get it would be good money or benefits for it, and now don't nobody want to go to the military.
They actually having a very hard time
recruiting on
they're getting recruiting. That's how you know that, and especially at this time. And there's been a lot of deaths and due to a lot of people in the military did the whatchamacallit, in the jump shot. So I think it was 30,000 or something like that, injuries and deaths or something like that. It's all coming out now. So the U.S. military is in a bad way, man. And so the draft is going to come, and all you women about to get your equal lefts and rights. Yep. So it's too late for all the apologizing. It's too late to apologize. Too late, man.
Hey, I think D-Match or somebody put it in there. We don't even need a diploma now for the military.
Yep, that too. So they just took that away. So the standards are really, really low. So you're gonna get a lot of degenerates, a lot of druggies.
I can get it, Dan.
It's getting ready to be military accidents and people dying left and right. You're gonna be in more danger in your own soldiers than you are from the enemy. So
that's gonna be funny. Trainer gonna be talking about, can't you read? I ain't got no diploma.
Hey, what's crazy is the shit. A lot of it's already segregation in the military. I ain't gonna say the brother.
Always been.
I ain't gonna say the brother name, but the brother told me about stories of black soldiers shooting at the white soldiers trying to kill them in the field. Like they be out chasing them down, and they shooting at the fucking. You know what I mean?
That ain't nothing new. Look.
That was happening all in Vietnam.
You ain't
saying nothing.
I ain't even know this shit.
Yeah, fucking with the niggas in the barracks and shit. They finally out there. Niggas is like, they were plotting like, I can get my revenge now.
That's it. Like I said, a lot of the butters, a lot of the bars, which is like them fucking Jeep lieutenants and whatnot in Vietnam. They trying to figure out why the hole in the back of their head is smaller than the hole in the front. The hole is smaller in the back. His whole cranium in the front is blew out because motherfucker popped. Man, I've been out here for 2 tours, 3 years. You gonna come out here trying to do this motherfucking rah, spoon, bomb, fucking tactics? Man, fuck you and the bullshit you on. Put his ass in the motherfucking ground.
They called it fragging.
That's right.
In Vietnam, they called it fragging. When somebody got out of line,
damn,
they got fragged. All right, if they got some new butterball lieutenant. And the old schools that were there who had survived, many battles and excursions. And some new guy came in doing some dumb shit, and platoon sergeants were like, "You're not about to get my man killed." And so,
kaboom.
So the first engagement with the enemy, somebody would frag his ass, and then they collect his dog tags, and then he get a funeral and all that shit. He's a hero, but the truth of the matter is that his own unit got rid of him. And that went as far as racial shit and other shit too.
That shit crazy. Oh shit.
Right? Because right, you're in the middle of a war. So the dude who been making your life miserable the whole time,
right?
You're in the middle of a firefight, and you behind him, he just keeps shooting at the enemy. Shit went down.
Oops.
Man,
Seriously, y'all think about what the elder said. Now you think about the job and the motherfucker that you didn't like, and this, that, and the other, especially if he's another nation where it ain't like he ain't an Israelite. He's a motherfucking heathen for real. Oh yeah. Hey, I can't wait for us to get back in the field.
Oh,
this next round, boy. I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, what Bill Duke saying, Predator, I'm gonna have me some fun.
Come on, brother. Any last scriptures are going to wrap it up?
I think Jay got
We
none.
get that select the man that sees the fall of his enemy, because
That'd be a perfect.
25-7.
Nah.
That's a perfect scripture.
That's a perfect scripture to close it out with, because that's what we're seeing, man. We got these people here and whatnot. They want to try to stereotype or put in the parameters and put your house, why your house shot in a box and say the people gonna look like this and be that and this, that, and other. He ain't got no box. It's about that bloodline, man.
God, this is a rock, 25 and verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that had joy of his children, and like Yaakov brings out the Esdras. We can't have that here. So that part won't be till we have the kingdom, till we have the plenteousness, we have the place of rest, the place of abundance.
That was
All
part
right?
of the curses, man, that you're not going to enjoy your children.
That's right. It
Terrible
says,
feeling.
a man that has joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemies.
And we seeing that. We get a chance to live through it and see it. We watching the man, woman turn on them. We watching not even want to talk about their own history. They want to call it a theory now, and don't want to face it.
Yeah. All of a sudden, documented history is theory. Hey, so but you know they're gonna pay for all that they've done, man. So with that, we're gonna give all praises, all honor and glory
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekakadash,
Wa Abba Babal.
Abba Babal.
Turn them